Welcome back, everyone, to the FloTrack podcast. I am Kevin, joined by the winner of the 2022 Flow Sports Halloween Costume Contest. Do I have the title right?
That's the official title.
Okay, I'm not sure.
There were 5 categories.
It's Gordon Mag, folks.
There were 5 Halloween costume categories. I won one of the categories. I didn't win Best Overall.
Oh.
But Best Overall was more of a political win because there was one person who was deciding Best Overall. And, you just have to have a good rapport with that person. And he would choose you. So I didn't have a good rapport. It's the barista. I don't drink coffee. And so...
What was the costume?
That won Best Overall?
Yeah.
It was... Actually, it was Marv from Home Alone. So it was a good costume. With the iron on the face.
All right.
The wet bandits. But yeah, this was my costume. You want to put it up?
Yeah.
Boom. X-rays came back. Turns out I got that dog in me.
You know what? I don't even think you need that second sentence. You could just start posting X-rays came back, and then people can see what it's all about.
There's a full photo.
Okay. So break down the costume process. What'd you do to put it all together? It looks pretty simple.
It's actually very complicated. The way I made the skeleton with the dog in me photo, I printed that out on I went to CVS, printed on a 20 by 16 inch piece of paper. And I was trying to figure out how to keep it stuck to my chest, like a piece of paper without wrinkling.
Yeah, yeah.
I took the bandage that I was using when I cut up my leg during my box jumps.
Yeah.
It's elastic, right?
Yeah,
and so I put it on either end of the piece of paper, and then basically I made a giant belt. So it was like a belt, so it was stuck to my chest because it was strapped around my body,
gotcha,
like a belt. And so that was good. And then I bought the hospital gown, which was that was $20. I bought the headbands. I won $50.
Oh, so did you net positive?
I think I broke even because the picture cost $10. The gown thing cost $25. The socks cost $6. The headband cost $10.
Wait, the socks?
Yeah.
Why did you need specific socks?
Well, I was like, get some high socks, like some basketball high socks.
Oh, you could have saved the $6. I think you would have. Or I think all you needed was the extra. So they understood the costume. The people.
Okay, here's the thing. Most people did not understand the costume.
That's their fault.
Only the dudes understood it, but only the younger dudes. The older guys at the company did not know. What is that? Okay, you a hospital patient? What? All right. Girls knew nothing. They're like, okay, cool. And then the guys were like, yo, he's got that dog in you.
Okay,
and that was good.
That's what I was saying. When you were walking around with what was the reception of the people who did know
the people who knew, they would bark. They go, hoo hoo.
Wow,
you got that dog in you. Yo, at the bar, it was great. But then the people were like, oh, okay. So
first rule of Halloween,
it's a hit or miss costume.
You don't want to have to explain your Halloween costume, but sometimes it's not your fault that they don't know it. They need to catch up. You're doing them a favor. You're letting them know a little bit about internet sports culture.
Yes.
Right?
I kept on saying it's a sports meme. They're like, oh, okay. And they probably don't even have a Twitter account. So they're like, all right.
Does the chat know is my question. That's what we need to figure out.
Does the chat know?
Does the chat understand the costume? Are you going to wear it live
I'll wear
on
it
Monday?
On actual Halloween.
We'll be able to test this in person. People have an easier time figuring out my costume.
And I'm gonna wear it again on Saturday at my Halloween party, which you and Colt are both invited to. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of time to move your schedule around.
What time does it start?
Put your kids into daycare or put them to bed early.
Daycare on Saturday. Interesting.
I don't know. It's Saturday night. My house.
Colt, are you going?
I take that silence.
I lost the no. I lost the
invite in the mail.
Invite, but I'm gonna try to make it still. I'll be there.
I'm gonna try to make it.
Do you have a costume idea, Colt?
Listen, guys, I didn't celebrate Halloween growing up at all, so I have zero
that's right.
connection to this holiday. I gotta figure out something. I don't have any costumes in my entire history.
Have you? You've never dressed up?
No, never have. It's the devil's holiday, guys. We weren't allowed to celebrate.
Well, this is our moment. This is our time. We can.
Have you ever been to a Halloween party and just not dressed up?
Yeah, I mean, I've thrown together here's some sweatpants with a weird logo on it. It's pretty lame. It's pretty lame. I've been pretty lame at Halloween parties my entire life. I just don't have any connection,
Gotcha.
This is your moment. This Saturday could be your moment. Your first ever Halloween.
But do you have a desire to be connected to Halloween is my next question. Can't force it.
I mean, It sounds fun, maybe. I just don't really care very much, I guess, is where I'm landing on the holiday. But Gordon's very cool costume, which I haven't seen anywhere else, even online, to be honest, has kind of inspired me to maybe figure something out. I like the using a meme or like a internet thing as your costume. I think that was a good call from Gordon. Kind of elevate a
Appreciate
level.
that,
Don't
Colt.
go with sexy vampire or something, you know?
Have you seen some of the fake costumes that go viral, like the Halloween Spirit of Halloween thing?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, you know, and
I was thinking we should do that as a segment. Make some fake track and field Halloween costumes for Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
So submit your ideas. If you have a good fake Spirit Halloween track and field theme costume, send it to our email, FloTrackPodcast@gmail.com, and maybe we'll talk about it on the air.
Yeah. And as Colt mentioned in the chat, we were supposed to say this out loud, but he mentioned in the chat, we are aware of the construction noise in the background. Thanks for hanging with us. Yeah, they're doing something like right over there.
Yeah.
And it's real loud, but just pretend we're live on set at, I don't know, where would we be live? There would be construction in the background. I'm trying to think.
I don't know. Well, basically this is our old office, and they turned it into a sports arena for wrestling competitions and grappling competitions.
So pretend we're doing that.
So that's what's going on. So if you're a Flow Wrestling or Flow Grappling fan, they're building an arena where we used to work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
This is going to be a great podcast.
FloTrackPodcast@gmail.com is the email address. We got a couple guess my PRs. We'll get to at least one today. But we want to start with the story that you flagged with some interesting quotes from Fred Kerley. Let's throw the article up there. It's Kerley commenting on Bolt's world record in the 100. It says it's very realistic. Everything is realistic. Bolt, Wade, and all the American greats, they put the bar up there for us to do it. This was an interview he said with the Independent. If they can do it, then why not us?
Hey, that's what I was saying in Eugene after he ran 9.97 in a prelim.
Yeah.
I thought, why not Fred Kerley? And clearly, I got that prediction wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone in the country of Jamaica let me know.
Yeah.
And everyone outside Jamaica also let me know. But Kerley himself is now, he thinks he can do it.
Yeah.
Do you think he can do it?
I think this record is going to stand for another generation.
Okay. Don't think he can do it?
I think Usain Bolt's record is going to be broken in our lifetime. I don't think it's going to be broken by someone who we know right now.
Yeah.
That person might be 10 years old, 12 years old.
Or not even born.
Not even born, potentially.
Okay.
I think it'll be a little sooner than that, though. I think they're born, but they're not even on our radar yet. I think it's going to survive at least one or two more generations of 100-meter sprinters.
Does the person who's going to break Usain Bolt's world record, they're born right now?
That's what I think.
Do they run track?
Yeah. They're running track.
They're running track right now?
Yeah.
So are they on like a middle school team or a high school team or a college team?
No, I think younger.
So they're like AAU?
Because if they were in college, they'd be on our radar by now because they'd be running something fast enough.
So they're running like middle school track right now?
Yes. You just got to go find them.
We just got to find this person.
Well, somewhere in the world. I'm not saying it's U.S. It could be literally anywhere in the world. I think, so he's at 9.76. Bromel's at 9.76. Coleman's at 9.76. We got, Jacobs isn't far off that time. But that's just a long way still.
It is.
9.58. This is what I tried to explain to you
in the
summer after you got completely shredded by an entire island. And I just think we need to see some 9.6s first, some consistent 9.6s. And I think they've done really well just to get into the mid 9.7s. I think it's very, very difficult to do. I am not surprised, though, that he said it because you're a gold medalist. Of course, you're going to think that you can be the best all time, right? You're looking at the all-time list, and you see, all right, well, I've already gone mid 9.7s, and I've only been doing the 100 a couple of years. Maybe with a few more years, I can drop some time off of it. But everybody who runs in track competes at this high of a level. I don't think there's many people out there who think, oh, that world record in my event is completely untouchable.
Here's a question. Does he have the clout to make this statement? Because if someone goes out and runs 10:01 and says, I'm going to break the world record, you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking running sub 10 first,
Yeah,
right?
stop. Everybody say stop.
Everyone say stop. Is his resume right now the resume that is enough to give himself a credible belief in that? Like, does he have a right to believe this?
Sure.
Thought?
Because he's got a goal. So what's the next thing? I mean, he wants to probably double.
Yeah.
Right? He wants to get another gold medal. But the next logical thing would be, all right, where do I sit on the all-time list? I mean, look at the quote. If they can do it, then why not us? It's not as if he's saying it's realistic.
Yeah.
It's not as if he's guaranteeing, saying he's going to go out next year.
Well, he says it's very realistic.
Yeah.
He didn't say it's realistic. He said very.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's more than very? Extremely?
Wouldn't you?
Certainly?
If you were in his camp or if you were a big fan, wouldn't you want him to say this? Wouldn't you be surprised if he say no, there's no possible way I can improve 0.2 of a second? Of course you're going to believe it. He wouldn't have gotten to this point in his career. None of these guys and none of these top women would have gotten to the point in their career if they didn't believe they could do ridiculous things. Now, a point in his favor, if you told me 2 years ago Fred Kerley's going to run 9.76 in the 100 and be the world champion, I'd have said no.
Yeah.
I'd have said no. So I fully confess to that.
Most people would have said no.
Yeah. But a lot of people now change their mind. Oh, well, actually, I would have totally saw this coming.
No,
he ran some 4x1s back in high school, and I knew. No, I am going to fully admit I did not see it coming. I was dead wrong, and I could be completely wrong again. I just, being around for Bolt, you see it, you know how special it was, and you know that sort of athlete doesn't come around that often. Because if you're saying that he could do it, then you got to also say, well, then could Coleman do it? Could Bromell do it? Right? I mean, Bracey wasn't that far off from what he's doing, from what Kerley was doing at the end of the season. So, no, I think he believes it. But I do think, to your point, I think he has the right to say it.
Yeah. Would there be any mark that he could run in May?
Yeah.
Like his 100-meter opener, that would make you believe that he could flirt with it. If he starts like a 9.9, it's like, okay, that's a normal opener.
The problem is, usually in May, we see these times we don't know what to do with them. Yeah. Because there's a plus 3.2 or they're at some sort of track we never heard of.
Altitude or whatever.
Yeah, but if he's legit running.
Doha, 100-meter Diamond League.
I mean, if he's going.
He runs 9.79.
Yeah, then I would say, okay, he's definitely got PR, and then we're in the mix. But I'm just still, and part of it's just because we were around for Bolt, right?
Yeah.
We were following that. Like, we know how magical that run was. Honestly, until he runs like a 9.6, like 9.6, and he gets into like the company of just basically Bolt, Blake, and Gay, like, then I'm not even going to entertain it. That's why I thought what you said, and I'm not trying to kick you when you're down here, but
kick away.
Well, that's why I thought it was outrageous, because you're just skipping all of these times, all of these steps. And I know people sometimes.
I thought it was outrageous that he ran 9.7 in the first round of a prelim.
No. Yeah. And listen, you got carried away. That's you clarified it. It's fine. And I know people do have these big outlier performances. It's not as if they need to run 9.6 before they run 9.58. That's possible to do. But I would need to see I just don't think we're going to go from 9.7 all the way down to 9.57. I just don't see that happening. So I think we would need to I wouldn't believe it's even possible until we saw some 9.6s. Probably more than one 9.6 actually.
Question.
Yeah.
If Fred Kerley does do this and runs 9.57, was I right?
No. Because you said Usain Bolt has 24, and the island of Jamaica, the country of Jamaica, has 24 hours to hold on. You made a very specific prediction.
Okay, what if I edit out the 24 hours? Can I just
it was a metaphorical 24 hours.
Yeah, it's metaphorically 24 hours. Time is, island time is a long time sometimes.
You would have to go back and ask them to edit the song, because it's not like you could just edit the clip, because now the clip has been used in other places, namely in a song by Usain Bolt.
Yeah, so...
No, you just need to re-up again. The problem is if you re-up again and you're wrong again, then you're just the guy who predicts Fred Kerley world records every year.
I'm willing to be that guy, though.
Yeah.
I'm willing to take on that responsibility.
But you need to
Someone's got to do it.
You need to redo it every year.
Yes. Oh, I will.
It's like the person who keeps saying the world is going to end, and the day passes, and they're like, just kidding.
Well, actually, I meant 12 years from now.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you see them 12 years later on your timeline, like, oh, here they are. Yeah, they're back. All right, so what I think is interesting, though, when you look at every event, right, you go through let's just stick this to running events. my theory being everybody who's at this level thinks they can break the world record. When you go event by event, is there any event on the track, we'll just keep this to running events, where you think the top people on the event right now
don't think they can break the world record?
Don't think they can break the world record. Now, I'll just exclude some right off the top, right? Because obviously, the 5 and 10, for men and women, those records have been broken recently.
So of course, they can think they can break.
Right. Same thing with both 4-meter hurdles. It's not as if Sydney doesn't think she can PB.
PR.
Now, maybe if you asked, okay, Femke Bol, can you beat Sydney's world record? That's different. But McLaughlin's still in the event.
Yes.
Men's side of things, obviously, they can do it. High hurdles, Grant's only off by 100, and the women just got broken.
Let's go through it. Should we start short to long or long to short?
Well, why don't you just go through, you can go through short to long.
Okay, so do women.
Yeah.
Women's 100. Do we think the top women think they can break FloJo's record?
Yes.
They do.
And I wouldn't have said that a few years ago, but with the 10-5.
There are women right now who say they can break that.
Yeah.
200, yes.
Shrieky Jackson.
400.
I would have said no before those quotes came out from Sydney, and that's why they were so surprising when she said, let's give it a shot, let's give it a go. So
400, the top 400-meter runner, which is Sydney, thinks she can break the world record.
Yeah.
And that's justifiable. 800, 153. I think Athingbo thinks she can run that.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, she's run 155. That's one of those ones that would seem too far out there. But with Mo running 155 at such a young age, Hodgkinson, she probably thinks she can do it too. Mary Mora, big talent there.
Yeah.
I think they think they can get that down to 153.
1500, certainly. She was point whatever off.
Yeah. Kipyegon gave it a run.
Yeah. We'll go up to 5K, which is an outdoor track. 5K, yeah, good day.
Of
she
course.
She ran 14:06. 10K, good day, yes.
Mm-hmm.
They can break it. And then marathon.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. People think that might get broken by G'day this winter, and then both hurdles.
Both hurdles, yes.
Yeah.
And then steeple, yeah.
That one is a little out there because that is an outlier time, the 8:44, but it's not crazy. I mean, we've seen people take big swings in the steeple, so
yeah.
I don't think anybody thinks.
So
no
every top woman in every running event thinks they can break the world record.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about men?
Let's go to the men. So obviously we got our answer for the 100.
Because Fred Kerley thinks he can.
200, Lyle's saying it.
Thinks
of course.
he can.
400, 43:03. I think Norman thinks he can do it.
Yeah.
You run 43:45 early season. Someone in the chat mentioned that Kerley actually has a better shot in the 4 than
breaking the 400 world
than
record.
the 1. And if he thinks he can break the 4, I mean, he mentions Van Niekerk
Dude,
in this quote.
What if Fred Kerley breaks the 100, 200, and 400 world
Then
records
it's over.
in 2023?
And it's over. We stop the podcast at that point.
We just can't. We end it.
There's just no reason to do a pod. No, I mean, it would be a great day for you.
That would be amazing.
Great day for Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
He's his neighbor, right? He's
Yeah.
Fred Kerley's neighbor.
Lives in Taylor, Texas.
Do we have that photo?
Oh,
should put that up.
We'll show that.
We'll show that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, 400. I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people think 400.
Norman thinks he could.
Yeah. One, I think Kerley thinks he could do it.
800.
Now we come to the only one. This is the only one where I don't think if you gave
Truth serum
to the top runners,
to Courier, to
give to Brazier even.
Brazier.
Because obviously he has one of the
A-Rod.
faster PB. Yeah.
to the Algerians.
Yeah. Mula,
Mula.
Sajadi, that whole crew. 140.91 Rudisha's mark. Now, when Brazier was running fast a couple years ago, this got brought up. Everyone's like, well, what's the next thing? You're going to go after Rudisha's record? And Brazier was he's a very smart guy. He was more like, I'm knocking this thing out next season for sure. I think he understands how fast it is. You also have the situation where the guys with the fastest times right now ran those times a bit ago, right? So Brazier, it's going to be a challenge for Brazier just to get back to where he was, let alone to go to Rudisha level. Same thing with Career. This event is not running fast right now. Slower times are winning it. I don't see a situation where if you gave them truth serum, they'd say, yeah, we can knock off that mark. Because let's give credit to the mark too, right? This is an incredibly difficult performance from a transcendent athlete, a Bolt-like athlete in David Rudisha.
Okay, but so we give truth serum to Bryce Hoppel, Murphy, Brazier. Give it to
Everybody, give it to the top 50 guys.
Okay, but what if you give truth serum to like someone like Brandon Miller?
I still don't think.
Or someone like Won the what's that high school kid who's going to Ole Miss?
Cade Flat?
Cade Flat.
Well, okay, now you're just getting into like a dream sequence. Like if we give it to this 8th grader.
No, not 8th grade.
In Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, do they believe they can do it?
No, but giving it to like a guy was close to breaking a high school national record. He's probably thinking like, I'm so young, I'm running so quick.
Sure, but
if things go well, 7 years from now, I might be breaking the world record.
Okay, maybe, but I'm talking about people right now who are at the Diamond League level, like able to compete at the Diamond League level right now, who have run enough to have a time that's like somewhat in the range and also enough experience to know just how good that is. I just think this one stands out because 1500, I think Jakob thinks he can beat Garouche's mark, and then hurdle marks have already been broken or almost broken. Marathon, Kipchoge, obviously. Now, if you took Kipchoge out and didn't allow him to bet on his own marathon record, I think that would be the other one where people would be like, I don't know, because he's so good. And then 5 and 10 with Cheptegei. So I think the men's 800 is unique. I think men's 800 is the
I
only
think Brandon
event.
Miller thinks he can break the world record.
Let's call him up. Guy's number?
I think he's probably looking at his age and it's like, all right.
What's he run?
What's his PR?
Yeah. What's Brandon Miller's PR?
I'll look it up. World Athletics, Brandon Miller. And his age. You gotta keep track of his age. So he's 19 years old.
Yeah.
And he's run 144.9.
So he's 4 seconds back of Rudisha's mark.
Yeah, but how old was Rudisha when he broke the world record?
I don't know, but I don't think this is going to go in the direction that you think it's going to go.
Rudisha, 800 meters. How old was he? So he was 33 now. He's 33 now. When it happened, 2012, 10 years ago. So he was 23.
Okay.
So Brandon Miller is 19. 4 years later.
You just got a
second per year. I think he can drop a second per year.
This is how you got into the Emmanuel career, breaking the world, running 139 prediction business. How's that going?
Well, it actually turned out pretty well because now he's the back-to-back global champion.
I know, but that's not what you said.
I know, it's not what I said, but like it's kind of what I meant.
You're really good at getting like
tangential correct predictions.
Like ricochet wins off a thing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't actually predict this, but this person ended up doing other things that are good. And then you say, well, Gordon, that's not what you actually said. What you actually said was he was going to break.
I think Brandon Miller thinks he can break the world record.
I think
he's dating someone who thinks they can break the world record.
But I think he would say it in a anything is possible type of way, which is not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is like, do they have a sincere belief that they can do it? And I do think, to your point about Kerley, you have to qualify to be in the conversation. I don't know if he's qualified in yet with 144.
I think Brandon Miller is going to break the world record in 2027.
So you don't think there's a single?
I'm gonna watch his progression. He's gonna run like 143 next year, and you're gonna be like, oh, okay, he's looking good. 20-year-old running 143, and then Olympic year, he gets his first 142, and he's like he's getting top 3 at the Olympics.
Still a long way to go.
And then you're like, damn, this guy's 21 years old, running 142, medaling at the Olympics. That 2027 prediction from Gordon is not looking too.
I don't want to be the cold water guy, but I just don't. It's just such a huge leap. Because think about what it would take, right? He'd have to become the best in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Which that's a huge
Donovan Brazier did it.
Jump. Right. And then Donovan Brazier wasn't particularly close to the world record, though. And that's the other thing. Some of these events, the way they're positioned now, if you get to be the best in the world, if you just beat your contemporaries, you're in the mix for world record. You could be the best in the world and be 2 seconds off what David Rudisha was running.
Yeah.
Then you have to have the opportunity to do it. Like his run from 2010 on was just remarkable. Again, it was Bolt-like. It was sensational. And he didn't have like that final chapter, so maybe we forgot just like how dominant he was.
Okay.
140.91, man.
Who has a better shot at breaking the world record in their lifetime? Brandon Miller or Fred Kerley?
Fred Kerley.
Do you think Fred Kerley's going to break the world record?
That's not what I said. I said it was a better chance.
Thanks, Fred. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team. Fred Kerley.
Extremely low.
100-meter world record potential.
Mark in the chat, Bolt records will stand for the next 20 years. There's no one like Bolt out there right now. Athletes like Bolt only come once a century. Believe that. I mean, that would be kind of cool because then I say I saw it, and when I'm 85 years old.
Like the people who said they saw Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game?
Yeah, exactly. Like I could just say, hey, I'm telling you, not Bolt yet.
You know, like in sports, They always say like unbreakable records, like the home run, whatever, or consecutive game hits, or 100-point game in basketball.
Yeah.
Football, I'm not sure what the greatest football record is. Maybe it's Tom Brady rings. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't have individual stats. They're just so era dependent in football. It's tough.
Would you say that Bolt's record could be like the one that, if it does survive another 20 years, that like when they're doing like top 10 sport records and they're talking about, this home run record or this, that, and the other thing, that Bolt's record, because it's lasted for so long, could become the greatest sport record of all different professional sports?
Yeah. I mean, where is it ranked now? It's got to be, don't you think it has to be pretty high up there? It's a subjective measure, right? But since people know Bolt and they watch him dominate an entire era, they're going to put a lot of emphasis on his fastest times.
Yeah.
And he has the record. So I think they already sit up there. I don't know. I just think with Knighton, when he ran 1949, I did a video that was like...
You made a video?
Yeah, this is back when I made videos.
Okay.
But basically, I forgot what the headline. Like, it was something like the Bolt comparisons are real now. For once, the Bolt comparisons are real because it was in 1949, right? It was a young guy who we know is just scratching the surface of his talent. And I think Knighton in the 2 would be, because before we were talking about the 100, but Knighton in the 2 would be the exception, I think.
So maybe, who has a better shot at breaking the 200-meter world record? Noah Lyles or Aaron Knighton?
I think Knighton for that exact reason, because his ceiling is not known. Now, I think next year, I would change that next year if we get another season of Aaron Knighton and that 1949 is still an outlier. Like, if he's still, like, if he's not able to match that run that he had at LSU, then I'm going to be like, okay, maybe I was wrong. But for now, knowing the 1919, knowing how young he is, I felt like that was the first legit Bolt comparison of the, 30 that have been out there since Bolt broke the world record. You followed the sport for a decade. It's like every season, every year, right? There's a new, is this the next Usain Bolt?
Yeah.
And we're guilty of that sometimes too. But with Knighton, I actually felt like it would have been doing that run a disservice to not compare it to Bolt.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
If Knighton goes out and runs like 1944 at LSU next year, and then continues to have like a similar
Does it have to be at LSU?
career. Yeah, it has to be at LSU.
Oh.
Will we start the conversation? Is the LSU track fraudulent?
I was going to say, are we going to move the Olympics to Baton Rouge?
Or move the Olympics to Baton Rouge?
So let's
have like the Swarthmore track situation. Remember when people run fast miles there? Everyone's like, the track is short.
So his best, 1949 is his best one. His next fastest, 1969, 1977, 1908. Yeah, I want to see just a sub 19.6 next year. I think if we see a sub 1960 next year, it's back on. Like, I'm all good. He didn't even need to run a PR. But
so you want 19.5?
Yeah, if he runs 19.59, I'm back on. I mean, God, Gordon, he's 18 years old. Like, he turns 19 in January. Like, there's so much running left in him.
There's so much running in Brandon Miller, man.
But are we really going to compare a 1949 to a 144.9? Is we going to do this again?
They both have 4s and 9s in them.
The fun,
and 1s.
Fun with sprinting conversions. Gordon's still learning this stuff. The 100, though, Knighton's way better than the 2 than the 1. The 100 is what we're talking about with Kerley, and that's the one where I think we don't know who that person is who's going to break it yet. They're out there. We don't know who they are. Or it could be a whole generation, and we're going to be 90 years old talking about it.
What was your reaction to seeing Fred Kerley say, I think I can break the world record?
Not surprised. I'd be more surprised if he said he couldn't break the world record.
Or you'd be like, come on.
I want to...
Or you're like, oh, woo, all right, maybe.
I mean, I was happy because he gave us something to talk about, but I want there to be a headline sometime of such and such doesn't think they can break the world record.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Nope. Like, we need to interview the 800 runners right now.
Well, Greg Popovich from the San Antonio Spurs says we're not going to win the NBA title this year.
Yeah, that's what I like, that sort of candor. How have they done, by the way? Have they played any teams, like, particularly on the East Coast this year?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't been following basketball because, as you know, the Philadelphia Phillies are in the World Series and the Philadelphia Eagles are undefeated and the Flyers are in first place. So,
and the Union.
And the Union are in the Final Four.
The Union, the blue-collar workers.
Yeah, the blue-collar workers, yeah.
All right. More from the chat. all in the game. Would love to see Kenny B beat his 1968 PB next year and eventually run sub 44.
Kenny B's winning the 2023 world title.
Yeah, how do you square the circle, by the way, with all this? Lyles, because you think Lyles can potentially break the world record, right?
But Kenny B's going to win Worlds.
Okay, and then what's Knighton doing during this?
Knighton's just hanging out, running 19.5s.
Okay. So everybody wins in their own way next year?
Yeah. You can break the world record and not win Worlds.
So he's going to break the world record next year and in the same season not win Worlds?
Yeah.
Lyles? Wow, that is a prediction. You should figure out
starts happen.
You should figure out how to put money on this.
I'm
quite the parlay here.
I'm threading this needle.
This is quite the parlay from Gordon. They're talking about Norman in the chat. I missed the beginning of this conversation. Stevie 586. Sydney has to be low 48s at worst if running such a fast 400 hurdle race. If training with Kersey after learning tons from Allison Felix, she's got it. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'll put together my official Sydney statement once she runs a 400.
Is that going to be your same time as your official Sebco
letter?
Please let me vote.
Yes.
Statement. Okay.
Yes, I'm drafting that as we speak.
All in the Game says, would you want to see Norman spend one season running just the 100 and 200?
Yes.
Gordon would. So
100%.
Somehow get credibility back after his bananas 4x1 take from
that wasn't bananas.
That was a bad take.
No, it wasn't a bad take. Hold on.
Anyway,
no one has ever come to a conclusion that was a bad take.
Yeah, me.
The way my Fred Kerley breaking world record.
You started sending me like YouTube comments, like screenshotting them and texting
people agree with me.
That's how I know you.
Fred Kerley breaking world record was a bad take because he didn't do it, and I had 24 hours. But Michael Norman being a better 4x1 leg than Kenny B is not a bad take.
Would you like to see Norman spend a year running just the 100 and the 200?
And then it would turn my great take into even better great
Why
take.
would you want to see that more than open 4? I'm curious.
I don't know. I think it's more exciting to throw in Norman into the Lyles, Knighton, Kerley world.
Okay.
Like Norman throwing into that is a lot just more exciting than
you're trying
Norman
to condense
versus
all the stars.
Gardner. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, Gardner's healthy though. That'd be great.
Yeah, but I
thought you were talking about U.S. trials.
Yeah, U.S. and world. I mean, what would you rather watch? Norman versus Gardner or Norman versus Kerley, Lyles, Kenny B, and Knighton?
Well, if Gardner's healthy, and if all those people are healthy, I think Lyles is winning that 200 pretty convincingly. Whereas I'd like to see a fully healthy Norman versus.
But maybe Norman's in there, pushes Lyles to run 1918.
Here's the reason why I want to see. You've already given him the world record. I like it. Here's why I want to see Norman in the 400. I've said this over and over again. His PB can't be from Mount Sac. It just can't be.
It's not allowed.
We can't have that.
It's like
track and field community.
The same reason Kipchoge's PB can't be in the Valencia, the breaking
Ineos 159.
Ineos, like that's not allowed to be his PB because it's not official.
Yeah.
The Mount Sac, you're not allowed to have a PB at Mount Sac.
Yeah.
Same rules.
Well, if you're a pro.
Like if you're a college kid or high school,
JUCO, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have at it. But
shout out El Camino College.
If you're a professional,
yeah.
If your PB is Mount Sac, you gotta cross that out.
I know it's a great run, and I think obviously it's legit time, but it just can't be.
No, not allowed.
He has to run 43.2 at some point.
Like when he's in like the.
I think he wants the American record. I think that's what he's got the gold. Now he wants the American record.
And he better not freaking do it at Mount Sac.
That would be hilarious if his top two. Then I will give him credit. I'll go 180. I'll appreciate that he does the ultimate Southern California move and just runs fast.
He'll wait till like the Olympic trials are there again or something.
Yeah.
That's what he does. It's like, God dang it.
Well, the year he did it at Mount Sac wasn't at Mount Sac because Mount Sac was under construction. So it was Mount Sac Relays somewhere else.
So it doesn't count then.
I didn't mean literally. I meant the Mount Sac Invitational. I didn't mean
the school, the
stadium, Mount Sac,
or the state
stadium.
What's like the best state to have a record in or PB?
What do you mean? To like have the state record, like the fastest time around the state? No, probably California or Florida.
But like, that's too like mainstream.
Oh,
like I would want
Kansas, hands down.
Nah, Kansas. Like obviously it'd be cool to be the fastest man ever in Hawaii or Alaska because it's like not part of the 48.
Yeah.
But being like the king of Delaware.
It'd be pretty cool.
That'd be freaking badass, no?
Isn't that Sam Parsons?
Does he have the Delaware record?
He's from Delaware, right? Didn't he try to break 4 in Delaware because no one had done it yet? I think he did that recently.
He did that?
Yeah.
Is there like a list somewhere of like slowest PBs per state so you can just go on a road trip?
Well, people have been keeping track because you always see it. No
like
one's ever
soil
run
record, yeah.
It's all sub 4. Right? No one's keeping track of
the 100 meter,
100 or the 100 like that. But yeah, no one's ever run under 4 in Wyoming or whatever. You always see that stuff.
Okay, here's a question. I'm getting in shape. Lost 30 pounds. This has been good for my dunking, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I could go find a state record somewhere, like a soil state record.
No, because
in a weird event that they don't compete at high school because clearly all the high school records are gonna be better than mine. Yeah. But there's got to be a non-high school event out there. Maybe I can get it. Like a 55-meter dash, something.
Okay, something that they have. So like
we should do this.
So the Wyoming 55-meter dash record. Yeah, but are people keeping track of that? Where's that written down?
I'll find it.
Colt's got some ideas. What's that? Most socks put on in 30 seconds? Maybe you could do that. A little more of your speed.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to look into it. Okay. So like Field College's like 55-meter dash is 6.33.
Yeah, you can't run that. Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do the conversions. No. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be a state that people aren't running in. Like, what's the state that has the least run?
Well, I agree. Probably the state with the smallest population, right? So it would be Wyoming or Alaska, right? But there's still high school championships there.
Okay, what if we go international?
You can't beat high schoolers is what I'm saying. Oh, so you're going to be the fastest runner who's ever run in
Papua New Guinea.
Yeah. I still think no, because they have high schools there too. You can't beat any high schooler.
There's got to be something.
That's my working theory.
There's got to be. Chat, can you find a place where I can break the record? That'll be good.
Chat says there's an echo when Gordon talks. Gordon, fix that. Oh. Gordon's fixing this echo. We got a construction scene.
We got construction.
Someone came in. Like, did you see that? Like 10 minutes ago. Did they just turn on the air conditioner? What was that?
I think it turned on itself.
Oh, but they opened the door and came in.
I don't know.
Yeah, guys, we're still getting used to it here. And believe it or not,
we're not the priority right now. The building of the arena, which you can watch live on. Is it on Flow Wrestling or Flow Grappling?
Marcus, I think we're overlooking Seville from Jamaica. Next season, he's going to be running 9.6s. Wow. 21.
Wait, Seville's running 9.6 next year? Who's saying that?
According to Mark, which I'm a Seville guy. Do I win anything if I'm a year off on my Seville prediction? Do you buy me the trip to Jamaica? Can I cash in my world champs bet?
No, you don't.
Okay.
We're still trying to go to Jamaica?
Yeah. I'm always trying to go to Jamaica. What do you mean? No? Why would I say no?
We got to go to Jamaica.
I agree.
I want to go to Jamaica.
Yeah. I want to just go anywhere but where we are right now because this beeping is just incredibly annoying. All right. Good stuff.
Why do they have beeping? Like, they know that it's there. They can turn off the beep. Who are they notifying?
I don't know, man. This is not great. Not ideal. All right. Do you want to guess on PR?
No, I have the other breaking news story.
Oh, World's Fastest Shoes.
Yeah, World's Fastest Shoes just came out.
Talk us through it.
We'll show up the article.
Well, describe it for those who aren't watching.
So, for those who aren't watching, Google World's Fastest Shoes. They make you walk 250% faster. For comparison, the Vaporflies, they were only, 4%? So, we're talking 4% versus 250%. I know where I'm putting my money.
Yeah.
There's these walking shoes. If you want to walk fast, we don't know how they do with running. We don't see any video of them running in them. We just see them walking, through crowds. But they look like they're the next big thing. And I really think that this may disrupt the race walking world like we've never seen before. Because if there is someone who's sponsored by these shoes, they are breaking all the records. Dude. Like, we're talking Kipchoge on steroids. We're talking the greatest race walker we've ever seen. They're going to be walking so fast, they may be able to qualify for the marathon.
Sebco is so happy they put in those footwear rules last year because
they knew they were coming.
Okay, so explain it. We got wheels on the bottom, but in the video we watch it, there's a battery in them too because someone charges them.
Yes.
So that's pushing you along?
Yeah, they're pushing you along. They're basically the Fisher-Price rollerblades that you had in the 90s, but with electronics.
Yeah.
But I want a pair, man. These look fun. Be able to walk fast.
How expensive, Colt, are these?
They're $1,400.
Okay.
So a pretty penny, but if you it's only $700 per shoe. When you look at it that way.
If you just want one shoe?
Yeah, you can get one shoe, you go 50-50 with a friend.
Oh, look at this. Look at this paragraph. With a battery-powered range of about 6 miles, they could potentially be another alternative to a car for short commutes or used as a last-mile tool if parking close to your destination is a challenge. They have a little carrying bag, too. Like, you get to your destination, you take them off. It's like e-bike for your feet.
Yeah. All I know is we are probably within a month or two from Nick Simmons making a YouTube video
where he runs a mile.
Wearing these and being like running the fastest mile in these new Moonwalker shoes.
So it's like you have a moving sidewalk underneath. Because you're not rolling. Like, you see the video of it. People aren't, like, using them like roller blades, right?
Yeah, they're like rollerblades, but not rollerblades at the same time. Again, I'm worried about how this is going to disrupt the race walking world because these shoes, they're making you fast.
Well, and they go on top
250% fast.
You just step into them. They just strap in over your regular shoes, too.
Yeah.
So you wear you put on the Vaporflies, and then you put these over it.
Oh, my goodness.
254% faster.
No, it's 250% times 4%.
Oh, gotcha.
So, not sure how that calculates out. You don't add percentages. Come on, man. Simple math. But, yeah, Vaporflies with the Moonwalkers.
These are an accessory. They're not even the actual shoe, right? These go on your other shoe.
We got to do this. I want a Vaporfly Moonwalker combination. And then not only I do that, I wear these, and then I go to an airport, and I go on the moving sidewalk wearing these. Oh, you're going to.
Yeah.
You're going to.
You might disappear. You just sit here. You
break FloTrack, and then put Fred Kerley in them.
You break the
and then that world record's going down.
How much money did they lose on these shoes? Like, who thought this was a great idea?
I mean,
can you imagine anybody wearing
They're getting free press from us. Like, we're doing a really long ad read for these Moonwalker launches.
Yeah.
But again, they look amazing. I want a pair, and I want to see a track meet where everyone has to wear these shoes.
So it's just pushing you along.
Imagine a track meet where everyone is wearing these shoes.
Is that how you stop in them? Like, if it is giving you a little bit of a boost.
I think you just lean backwards.
Okay.
How do you stop when walking? You just stop.
Scroll that down a little bit, Colt, so I can read the paragraph above. It talks about the other direction. Other way. Above. There we go. There. Stop. The claim that Moonwalkers can increase someone's walking speed by up to 250% is based upon the fact that most people walk at around 2.5 to 4 miles per hour. The Moonwalkers actually have a limited top speed of 7 miles per hour, even while walking downhill, and users can come to a full stop in a little over 3 feet. Okay, so you have to have a little bit of a buffer. Like, if you're going into a coffee shop or something, you need to make sure you're pulling back on the reins. Otherwise, you're going to smack right in to the door. Designed to be used on stairs with a special foot gesture that activates a mode that locks the wheels and prevents them from rolling freely.
It allows you basically to run a sub 4-hour marathon, basically.
With 7 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just run, too.
You could just run. I mean, that's probably a way to go faster than walking in these moon boots. But, again, I want to see a professional athlete compete in a track and field event with these shoes on and see what happens.
I think they'd fall.
We don't know that.
They got wheels on.
What if they just go so fast?
You have to skate in them, right? Essentially?
You're not skating, though. They're walking.
I know, because you have the motors pushing you along. Yeah, but I'm saying once you start picking your feet up, aren't you going to fall? You can't actually really take strides in them.
I don't know, man.
If you took big strides in them, I think it'd be tough.
Someone's going to buy these shoes for $1,400 and then...
I want to see... Yeah.
Like, I want to see Coleman run a 60 in these.
Hey, if they're smart and they want some marketing.
They're probably heavy, though.
Yeah.
So that kind of...
Can you have to run them?
I don't think so.
They don't market anything about them running. Yeah.
I think it would be very difficult.
Okay, if you can't run in them...
You can race walk in them.
You can race walk in them, but...
Keep one foot on the ground.
Me and you...
Yeah.
Side project.
Yeah.
Let's create a version that you can run in.
Okay.
And we can sell them to the athletes we cover. And we can sponsor them.
Sounds about right. All right, let's go to Guess My PR. You got 2 to choose from. Let's do 1 today.
Do these PRs involve moon boots or no moon boots?
No moon boots. First one here is from Jem. Love the show and the new set. Hopefully you enjoy the sounds of the new set too. Yeah. I recently just wrapped up a half marathon training block and would love for you guys to guess my PR. Here are 3 workouts I did leading up to the race. Are you ready?
Wait, who is this again?
Jem. Jem.
Is Jem? Is this a female?
I'm giving you the times. I don't.
Jem, is that a male? Sorry, Jem.
I'm not sure. Sent from the iPhone. Okay. That's all I know.
Both men and women have iPhones.
You
know that, right?
It's an iPhone. All right, ready for these workouts? It doesn't matter. You're looking at the times. What is it? Does not matter.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's true.
All right,
here we go.
First one. 5 weeks out.
5 weeks out from my half marathon.
Were you listening at all?
Yes, I was
to this
listening.
segment?
I'm just double checking my work.
I mean, it's really easy to focus right now. There's not a forklift behind you or anything. The thing's gonna come crashing through.
I'm ready. I got the Excel sheet out.
So 3K easy, then 3 times 5K, 1K recovery jog. So the 5Ks were in 2018, then 1946, and then 1937. And the total time, I give you the total time of the half there, because Jem covered half in 1:35:13. 3 weeks out. The 3 times 1200. Do you want this? This is 3 times 1200, 3 times 1000, 3 times 400. Is that gonna help?
No, the 3 times 5K is when we go off.
Okay. Here's another one. Ready? 10 days out. 3K warm up and then a 7K workout. The 7K workout was a 5K threshold, 1752, 5 minutes rest, and then 5 times 400, 81, 87, 87, 86. So they did a 5K threshold in 1752. That's the takeaway. Then bonus, 6 weeks out, 10K race, 38:24 with 80 meters of elevation gain. 38:24.
38:24 for 10K.
Yeah, so that's slower than that 5K threshold run. But there was 80 meters elevation gain. Lastly, I should add that these workouts were done on a mostly flat road.
How much is 80 meters elevation gain? Like, is that a lot?
Yeah, it's decent. 240 feet.
But over 10K, do you feel that?
It's notable. It depends where it comes in the race.
Okay.
Right? Does it come all at once, or is it like gradual up and down? Lastly, I should add these workouts were done on a mostly flat road, and the half marathon ended up having a 170 meter of elevation gain. All right. So, do you have a guess on Jem's half marathon PB?
Hold on.
Gordon's calculating.
I got to figure out how many 5Ks are in a half marathon.
It's not that. You really.
4
4 of them, and then there's 1.1K left over.
Yeah, so 4.22.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on,
21.1K at halfway.
Yeah.
It's 42.2.
Well, I don't. Blah, blah, blah. It's 21.078. Okay, for record. All right. So there's 4.225Ks.
It's like we're doing a pod in a Costco, and someone needs to get like a pallet of water that's like all the way on the top.
So the threshold pace. I'm just trying to figure out what the threshold pace would have been for a full half marathon.
All right, see if someone in the chat can guess before Gordon, because he's taking too long.
Hold on. Okay, I'm trying to do an honest effort here. Okay,
this isn't
so about
hard.
a 1:15 marathon is the
Half
threshold
marathon.
pace. Half marathon.
Okay.
So, but they did a 10K in 38. So maybe I should. I'm gonna say. I'm feeling good here. I'm feeling good vibes. 117.
Way off.
Okay, I changed my mind.
Give you a second
Vibes
guess.
aren't there. I'm going 128.
Ooh, closer. 125.44.
Okay.
125.44. Hoping to make 3 hours in the marathon this coming spring, and might be needing a segment of FloTrack's internet coach.
Okay. 125. Trying to break 3. This is a comedy of errors. What we're dealing with here.
It's like we don't need drops. We have actual like noises in the background.
So you want to break 3. You just ran a 125. How far away is the marathon from now?
Spring.
So, you got time. Okay.
Well, we don't need to. You want to do the internet coach right now, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, we'll just a mini internet coach. I feel like you're in a good situation.
Yeah. Well, so you double it and add 10 minutes, right? That's the format. You'd be right at 3 hours. Yeah.
Just gotta start running farther. You gotta start doing longer workouts than these 10Ks and 5K stuff.
I love the 5x400.
Like you need to start.
You
need to do at least like 3 to 5 20-miler runs.
Well, yeah, that's good.
Hey, this is the internet.
That's
coaching
like
me, right?
generic. That's like generic marathon advice. But okay.
Sometimes
Should they do more
keeping it
5 by
simple
400
is
workouts?
the best way to go about doing things.
Put your spikes on. Really turn it over. Oh, by spring for sure. 85-minute shape right now?
Yeah, the question is, you make sure you eat the right foods.
Here's what you do.
And you learn how to
make
hydrate.
sure you get to the starting line.
Healthy.
Because there was a long time when I thought I could break 3 hours, and then I just waited and waited and waited. And
as they say, the best ability
is availability. Look at you, Jeff Van Gundy, over here. Loving it.
Which is not true, actually.
It kind of is.
The best ability is ability.
Well, right. But
I could show up to a starting line.
You need to be.
Does that make
both?
If I was ready to run the 100 at Worlds, does that make me better than Lamont Jacobs because he didn't show up?
Yeah, you'd have more of a chance. You were
so I had more of a chance to win a gold medal than Jacobs?
Yeah, you were like 13, 15, 16 false starts away. Yeah, you were right there.
I'm in it. I'm in the running.
Yeah. Yeah, the best ability is availability. That's good.
Okay, so in the tiers right now, I'm above everyone that didn't show up to Worlds because I showed up.
You had a better chance.
Because I was in the stadium.
Well, did you show up?
I was closer to the starting line than they were.
Did you show up? That's another question. You were there.
Oh my goodness,
Not sure.
I see what you're doing.
You made a viral video. That was good. Okay. Anything else? Hold on. Got another one here.
I'm loving this podcast.
This is going well. Oh. Jacob, curious if there's an issue uploading the pod to the podcast app. Last episode was 532. Did it not get posted? The most recent pod? Uh-oh. Did you not do something you were supposed to?
Was I supposed to upload it?
No, I thought I did. Did I not hit submit?
This is good.
533 not in there?
This is not on me. It's
Real-time
on one
tech.
of these guys.
If this is
it's
audio,
not on me.
Yeah, if it's audio, it's not Colt's fault. It's video, it's not Colt's fault either. No. It's 533.
It's nothing Colt's fault?
No.
532's up.
The echo was my fault, but it's fixed.
No, but shouldn't 533 be up?
Oh, you left it in draft, bro. It's in draft mode.
Uh-oh.
This guy doesn't even know how to do podcasts.
Jacob, thank you. It was in draft mode. Now you got it, though.
Now it's there.
It's there. You can get it right now. It's not this.
2 podcasts in the same day.
Sorry. My apologies. Oh, man. I got to own that one. That's my fault. I want to apologize to the listeners.
We're taking the podcast to the next level.
I want to apologize to my family. I want to apologize to everybody who believed in me out there.
You going to apologize to me?
I'm apologize.
You make me look bad.
I'm apologize to the staff of the show, which is 2 people. I'm going to apologize to the people building a studio out there.
Okay, I do want to do one last segment. We have 7 minutes.
No, we have some questions I want to do.
Okay, what are the questions?
Well, All in the Game's asking about Ronnie Baker. Do we even know what's going on with Ronnie Baker? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Was he hurt? He was hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt. He was hurt last year.
He posts a lot of Instagram, like training tips and stuff. But I'm not sure. If we hear something, I'll let you know. You want to talk about conference?
Yeah. So conference cross-country championships are Friday. Most of them are happening Friday morning, so we'll be able to live react to them during the podcast at 12:30 Central. But before that, I feel like I should give you my conferences I'm most excited to watch power rankings.
Good. Let me hear it.
Okay. So there's a lot of conferences. We can go through every one, starting with the Southland Conference, which kicks off in Thibault, Louisiana, hosts Nichols College. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. All right.
Give me the top 5.
First thing is the SWAC has already completed, and that was won by Jackson State.
Okay.
As you know, Deion Sanders is the football coach.
Coach Prime, I think you have to refer to him as.
Coach Prime. And Jackson State won this race. Bethany Cookman of the women, they won with 90 points. Okay. Got the SWAC out of the way. Top 5. I'm doing this on the fly. Did not prepare for this segment.
You're not supposed to say that.
But this is the best way. It's the gut feeling. All right. The conference I'm looking forward to most is, if I'm being real, I'm kind of looking forward to the Big 12. Because I want to see the Oklahoma State men and even the women in their what should be their final form. Because they didn't do anything during pre-nets weekend. We saw them run well at Cowboy Jamboree. The women were kind of, cook and row. That's like the big 1-2. Let's see how they do when it's a championship on the line. Can they repeat their Cowboy Jamboree performance? And then the men, We haven't seen Isaid Rodriguez. We haven't seen Shea Foster, I don't believe yet. We haven't seen, they have a really good miler, I forget his name. Good 3K runner too. So I want to see Oklahoma State's men's final form and see if it actually is a legitimate contender to BYU and Stanford and maybe NAU. So number one conference I'm looking forward to watch is Big 12. Number two conference that I'm looking forward to watch. I'm kind of looking forward to watching the Big 10. You know why? Because, like, I feel like we're sleeping on Wisconsin. I feel like I'm sleeping on Wisconsin. Like, you're sleeping on Wisconsin. They have a lot of good talent, guys. They have a lot of, Olin Hacker's not there anymore, I don't think. He would be, like, the 12th year senior. He's back. He's in Flagstaff right now, I believe, because he's with Hoka, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited to see the Wisconsin men see what they can do, because even though we do have our big four of BYU, Stanford, Oklahoma State, and NAU, like, odds are those are going to be the four podium teams. There's got to be potentially someone who screws it up, like how Portland would always come in and find a way to get a podium. I think Wisconsin. Yeah. So I'm looking for a Big 10. Third conference I'm looking forward to watch is Pac-12, because it's the Pac-12. Stanford, see them. Colorado, it's just fun. Oregon, see what they do. But ultimately, this is really my number one. They're four in this ranking, but they're number one in my heart, is the West Coast Conference. Portland versus BYU. I always love watching that. They always they go all out. BYU always has Portland's number year in and year out.
You're talking about the men's side?
The men's side. But every year I think Portland's going to win it, and then they don't.
Yeah.
And I think it again, maybe Portland finds a way to upset BYU in a weird format, but it is what it is. West Coast Conference is number 4. And then number 5, this will always be in my top 5. Can you guess?
Big Sky.
No.
SEC.
No.
ACC.
No.
Those are my top 3, so I don't know.
No, keep going.
Big East.
No. Which is live on Flow. So watch Big East Championships live on Flow.
Oh, Heps.
There you go. Ivy League.
Wow. You missed the 3 obvious ones. ACC. You want to see NC State.
What are we going to learn from ACC?
I just want to see who they run. I'm really curious to see who they run.
We've already seen who they run.
No.
We're not going to learn anything from the ACC Championships.
I want to see them. Mountain West.
What are we going to learn from New Mexico? Nothing.
I want to see if Mountain West can be the first team, or I want to see if New Mexico can be the first team, the women's team, to have a negative spread. Like somehow their 5th runner is going to come in first before their first runner.
That would be impressive.
And we're going to be like, wait, what did Joe Franklin just do? Also on the list.
He clearly got the prototypes to these walking shoes.
West, Big Sky.
Okay.
NAU. Feels like a must-win.
Yeah, I mean, Montana State, they got some good guys.
Yeah. Feels like a must-win.
They got Duncan Hamilton. He's good. They got a few others.
SEC. Alabama women. The back half of that lineup.
Yeah.
Like, do they have somebody there that's come on late in the season who could get them onto the podium? So those are my top. That's 4. I gave you 4 conferences.
You did.
You should be looking for those things too, not just your like, oh, Heps is cool.
What would be the most fun place to run? So Stephen F. Austin, Portland. Oh, so West Coast Conference is in Portland. So
which park? Pier Park?
Fernhill Park.
Okay.
Do you know where that is?
Mm-mm.
North Dakota for Summit. Van Cortlandt Park for Ivy League. Alabama for Sunbelt. Tallahassee. Louisiana for Southland. Spartanburg for Southern. I'm trying to find like a cool place. Riverside, California. Pac-12. Hosted by USC.
That's nowhere near USC. That's hilarious. Riverside is nowhere near USC.
Like
completely different counties. USC's
like how far is the drive? So like,
will
USC not be able to sleep in their own apartments?
No. I mean, I wouldn't with traffic. Are you kidding me? Is this Friday, right?
Yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah, if it's a morning start, no,
yeah.
no.
8:40 a.m.
Yeah, no, you get a hotel. That could be an hour and a half going out there.
All right.
It's in the Inland Empire, man. That's way far away. That's funny. They're doing it in Riverside.
Yeah, it's weird. Conference USA is in North Texas, in Denton, Texas. You want to
go? No. Where's Big Ten's at?
Big Ten's Michigan. Maybe we go catch a game, football game.
What about where is NAU running?
Big Sky's in Eastern Washington.
Oof, wow. All right.
Cheyenne, Washington. Big East is in Massachusetts. Big 12's in Lubbock. ACC's at Virginia.
I'd pick Van Cortlandt Park because I've always wanted to run in Van Cortlandt Park. Heard a lot about it. Never run it.
You never ran in Van Cortlandt?
Mm-mm.
I ran in it. I ran in it in a local cross-country race post-college.
Yeah.
Ran really slow. It was really bad.
Yeah, but you got to
Very
see the course,
embarrassing.
right?
I got to see the course.
Did it feel iconic?
Not really.
Okay. Have you run Mount Sac?
Yeah.
When you ran Mount Sac? You ran Mount Sac?
No, I didn't run it.
Okay.
I just ran it like at night.
Okay. Did that feel iconic?
That hill's a bitch.
Well, there's a bunch of...
And there's a lot of dust.
Yeah, well, there's just the switchbacks. There's all these cool
weird,
parts
yeah.
of the course and the old finish sign and stuff.
Running,
I always learned, because I was West Coast guy, I always thought like Van Cortlandt was the East Coast version of Mount Sac. So I always wanted to run.
Really?
That's the one you always heard about. I'm talking about like the early, like pre...
I feel like Van Cortlandt's overrated. Van Cortlandt's just a giant field and then a little wooded area. They go in and out. And then it's a giant... Like, it's not that interesting.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. When I was in high school, though, I thought it was cool. All right, Colt's got the directions from USC to... Yeah, so an hour, it's 57 miles away. Again, if the 8:30 start time, and that I don't know which way, traffic is going. You're not... I don't think...
I don't know about you, but if I was the USC cross-country coach and I got to host the cross-country championships, I would turn it into a road race.
Yeah.
Run the streets of LA.
No, or just go to the beach.
Or just go to the beach. You have to make it a beach race.
Put it on the bike path.
Dude, we need Long Beach State to host cross-country championships and be like, yo, we're changing it up, running on the beach. Wouldn't that be cool to see a beach race?
Well, you need Pepperdine. Pepperdine's right on... Or UC Santa Barbara. Those are right on the water.
Are beach races a thing?
Yeah. In LA, people do beach races.
Can we make it like a...
Not as cool as you think it would be.
No.
After about 15 seconds, it's just like, wow, this... Well,
sucks.
You try to run down by where the tide came in, and the water's still there, so it's a little harder. But there's not a bike path action there, but they're not going to put a race on a cross-country race on a bike path.
Yeah, man.
Riverside does. I know Riverside has a cross-country course like on campus, I believe. Same thing with UC San Diego. That has a cross-country course on campus. But yeah, that's a trek. That's a trek.
Anyway.
All right. Good conference preview.
Yeah, that's my preview. I'm excited, number one, for Big 12 because I want to see Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And they can't hide any cards at Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship.
You sure? Might have one little like...
I mean, Portland does it.
Ace.
They hide their cards at West Coast, but I don't think Dave Smith is going to hide cards at Big 12s. You can't. You got to win the race. Iowa State's good.
Yeah.
Texas can be a player maybe. Mm-hmm. You just can't take any risks. You just got to put all your cards in the deck.
I'm impressed that you did a preview and you didn't once talk about a team that's not competing. That's pretty good. You didn't see the conference I'm most excited about is this one conference where they're going to be missing 4 teams, but I'm really curious how that'll play out at regionals where they also won't run. So, Ryan says, UCSB, you run 10 feet from the beach. He's a UCSB alum. Go Gauchos. So the cross-country course is 10. Okay, where's the course? I've been down there. Ryan, remind me where the course, like, what's the name of the course?
I just want a beach.
I know the campus is right there.
I think, JUCO, they do the half marathon championship. JUCO needs to just bring in beach championships.
Just running on
a beach race.
So that
like a beach 5K. I want that.
That would exclude a lot of colleges. I just want to let you know.
Well, you have to they have to travel to the coast.
Oh, I see. So if you're in Oklahoma, you just go.
Yeah. It's invitational.
Colt,
either go to the beaches on the East Coast or beaches on the West Coast.
Colt, you're from the middle of the country. How old were you when you saw a beach for the first time?
Well, have you ever seen a beach?
He's seen a beach.
He hasn't seen a beach.
I've seen a beach.
Wow.
Probably like 12. I went to like Florida when I was
12 years old? Okay. So it took you a little bit.
Yeah.
Brendan says Van Cortlandt slander.
I mean,
it's
nothing great.
I'm the one who built it up in my head. I don't know. I've never been.
I would rather run the Lehigh course, Paul Short, than Van Cortlandt Park. Maybe I'm biased since I'm from Bethlehem.
Yeah, maybe.
I ran it in high school a lot. But I would rather do that again than go to Van Cortlandt Park.
With Mount Sac.
We're just like, what's so great? It has this a fancy name, Van Cortlandt. Like, come on.
Here's the thing with Mount Sac. Why Mount Sac was a big deal. They had a big time races there because the invite is huge, and then they had Foot Locker West there, and then the course itself was spectacular. like they had names for all the portions of the course. It was perfect. It had a perfect mix of being able to be spectator friendly without being repetitive for the people running it. And I thought it was, now some purists would be like, you took some steps on concrete. That doesn't count as cross country. But you had all different forms. Like the first loop is flat, then you go up into the switchbacks. You have to be able to run up and down. It has that iconic finish. And then when they extended it to 5K, you actually ran on the, so you had a track finish, which again, not like the purest form of cross country, but it was cool for people watching because then we would all run into the stadium to see people come in. And I just thought, okay, there's got to be another version of this somewhere in the U.S. And I thought it was Van Cortlandt. Again, I haven't seen it. I went to New York once in my life, ever, and I told the person, one of the people I was visiting, I was like, hey, do you want to run at Van Cortlandt Park? And they said, that's a long way to go.
To go for a run.
To go for a run. And they're a runner, but they're like, they shared your sentiment a bit, although I don't think they race it ever. They just were confused as to why I'd want to go to this specific park, so I never went and haven't been back to New York since.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
Email us.
The construction stopped, by the way. Perfect time.
Perfect timing.
Do you want to do a second hour?
Let's do it. All right, roll it back.
Let's open up the phone lines.
But Friday's going to be a fun pod because we'll react to the cross-country stuff.
It's going to be great.
And then Monday, if you want our Halloween special.
Yeah. Spooky things in track and field.
Yes.
I'm going to come dressed up. I'm not going to give it away. Let's just say one of my good friends is
named
Luigi.
It's a me, Mario.
All right. Thanks, Colt. Thanks, Gordon. See you guys next time.